Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, The Automation Hub. So guys, today we are going to discuss about strings in Java. So as you can see, I mentioned the some methods available in strings class. Okay. So first of all, what is string? So simple. If someone asks you what is string in Java, so you can say simple words like in Java, a string is a object, right? String is a object that represent a sequence of character, right? Unlike we have primitive types, right? Like a boolean, int, character, these are the primitive data types, right? I already explained created one tutorial regarding data types, right? So there I mentioned like we have two types of data types. One is primitive, second is non-primitive. So primitive, under primitive we data types we have like boolean, integer, short, right? And character, these are the primitive data type. But non-primitive, I explained you about the string, array, class, these are the non-primitive data type, right? So this is the part, right? So string are part of a java.lang package, okay? So strings is a part of java.lang package and are immutable. What is the immutable means? Immutable means we cannot change any string. If we declare string type variable, we cannot change the value. If you want to change, you need to create another string variable, right? You can't change the same string variable. Once you created the string, it's done. It's not going to change, right? So string is a constant and we cannot create like we cannot change any string type value, right? We can create different string variable with different value, but we can't change in the existing string variable, right? So because string is a immutable, we cannot change string type value, right? So this is the basic definition, right? What is string? And string is a immutable. We cannot change the string value if we declare once string variable, right? And string is a collection of character, right? Basically string is a class, right? Under class we have some methods, right? Predefined methods. So if you see in the left side, I added some of the methods name. So why we use, because these methods basically we use most of the time, like whenever you do the automation testing, right? And you are comparing any value like string type value, or you are checking any title or any character or length, you are going to use these methods only, right? We have lots of method comes under the string class, but for now I just mentioned some of the most common methods, so you can understand what is the use of these method, right? So basically as I explained you, string is a simple class, and to declare string is like a sequence of character we add inside the double quote. So how to declare a string? Simple. There is a two ways to declare a string, right? One is string literal. One is string literal, second is using new keyword. So there are two ways to create a string, to declare a string, right? How to declare string? Using string literal or using a new keyword, right? So first of all I will tell you what is string literal. So if you are using string literal, how to declare a string? Simple. How to create a string? Use string in s is in capital letter, because string is a class, right? Then variable name I am giving as a name, variable name equal to name, right? And then I'm using equal operator, then equal sign, then under double quotes. Whenever you are going to declare any string, you need to use double quotes, right? Inside double quotes, whatever the value you are going to mention, this will consider as a string, right? So let's say I am giving a here automation. I am creating one string, right? Variable name is name and the value is automation, right? So this is the way to create string literal. Using string literal, we are creating string, right? This is the way, okay? String, then variable name, then the value inside the double quotes. This is the way to create string, right? What is the second way? Using new keyword, right? So let's say I'm going to create another string, okay? here I'm giving the s1 name, string reference variable name equal to s1, and then I'm going to use new keyword, new, then string, because string is a class, so we need to give the string class name here, and then close this bracket. So we created the object here, right? Right now we created one string class object and the reference variable name equal to s1, right? So we created the object of this string, right? Now I want to create the string inside this. I want to give the value here. So how to give the value? Simple. Inside this constructor, you need to use double quotes. Using this double quote, you can pass the string value. Like I'm giving here the hub. I'm giving string value is a like the hub, right? So s1 equal to what value is going to assign here? The hub. So this is the second way to create a string, right? Because string is a class, so this is the perfect syntax for like creating the object and passing the value. But we have the easiest way to create string, simple, using string literal. You just need to give the string s in capital letter, then the variable name, and pass the string inside the double quote, right? So this way you can easily create a string. There is no need to write new keyword, because in the behind this will create the object, right? Whenever you create any variable, string type variable, one object is going to create, right? So this is the logic whenever we create a string type variable, right? So see, uh, basically string is a immutable, so we cannot change string value, right? Like I created this string variable variable name is equal to name, and the value is automation. And now I want to change this name equal to, let's say I'm giving name equal to name plus, I want to say here selenium. I want to add this selenium. Okay. So, see, I am going to change this name value here. Trying to change this value, name variable value equal to this, like the automation selenium. Okay. So this value I'm trying to change, but this is not possible. Why? Because this is, we created one string, right? Variable, and I added a value equal to automation, right? So this value is constant. We cannot change this value, right? If you want to add a new string, so you simple create a new variable, or this will create another object to store this value, right? Okay, so this is the logic. We cannot change the string value, right? If you want to change string type value, you can use a string buffer and string builder. There is a two different classes we can use for if you want to change the string type, right? So there is, like, if someone asks what is a string, and what if string is immutable or mutable, so simple, you can say string is immutable, right? Immutable. String is immutable, and if you want to change any string type value, so simple, you can use string buffer class, right? String buffer class is a mutable class, right? Mutable, and string builder also equal to mutable. Okay, so this part immutable or mutable we can say. Okay, so as I mentioned here, string is immutable, so we cannot change string type, string value. Okay, so if you want to add another string, you can declare another reference variable, and then you can assign the value, right? So this is the way to create a string, simple string literal or string class. Okay, so what will happen, like okay, so first of all, I'm going to explain you about the method here. So we have these some method, like six or seven types of method I mentioned here, the common method we use. So let's check practically how we use these method. Okay, so as I mentioned here, we are declaring, this is the way to create a string, right? We have two ways to create, using string literal and using new keyword. Okay, and string is also immutable, so we cannot change any string type value. Okay, and we have some methods inside the string class, so I'm going to use this string class method. So let's go to Eclipse, and I already created one class here, string concept. Okay, so we have main method. So let's run this. Let's first create the string variable. So I'm going to use string literal logic, like using string literal I'm going to create the string value. Okay, so string literal. Okay, using string literal. So string literal concept I'm going to use. Okay, so how to create simple string. I'm going to give name, string variable name equal to s1 equal to, I'm going to give as a or the automation. Okay, I am creating one string s1 and the value equal to the automation, right? I created one string type variable here, and the value is the automation hub, or I will add hub. So I created this string, the automation hub. Okay, and now I want to print this value. Okay, so how to print? Simple system dot out dot println, simple, use string value is equal to, we can use this way, and I will use plus sign, concatenation sign, and I will pass the variable name here. So now I want to check this value is going to print in console or not. So simple, right click, run as Java application. So simple, we have the automation hub. So this value is printed here. So we created one string type variable. So now I'm getting this value, the automation hub. So this is the perfect, right? We created one string and we printed out. Okay, now second way is, this is the first way, right, to create a string using string literal way. Second is using create string using new keyword. Using new keyword also we can create string. So simple, I'm going to use string class name, then reference variable name I'm going to use s2, then new keyword I'm going to use, then string class, because the string is a class, so I'm giving name, right, and this bracket and the close. So right now we created the object of the string class s2. Okay, so let's say I want to print this s2 value here. So right now I didn't give any value here. I'm just going to print s2, but we didn't assign any string type value, right? So let's say what value is going to print here. So simple, save this and run here. So you will see blank, because we didn't added any string type value here, right? So if you want to add string type value, simple, inside this bracket, this constructor, simple string constructor, you need to give double quotes. Okay, and under this you can pass the value, like I'm passing this hello. Hello, this word I am passing inside this constructor. So I'm creating this s2 variable string equal to hello, right? So let's, if I'm going to save this and run this, so hello is going to print. So we created string using two different ways. One is string literal, simple string and the variable name, and you can pass the string. And second way is simple, we need to create string, then the new, using new keyword we can create the object of a string, and we can pass the string inside this constructor. So this is the second way to create a string using new keyword. But guys, as you can see, this is the easiest way, right? We don't need to use new keyword, or we don't need to create like separately. So we just need to give the string, and the variable name you can give any name, and then just the inside the double quote you can pass the value. So this way we create the string, right? So these two way I explained you here. Now let's move to methods. Okay, so so I'm going to check what are the methods we can use, and how, what is the use of this method. Okay, so simple, we have length method. What is the use of length method? So to get the length of a string, we use length method. Okay, and char at, or inside this bracket we have index, right? So what is the use of this method, charAt method? So to get the character at given index, so if I give index 0, so the whatever the character present in the 0 index, this is going to print inside the console. So this is the use of this method. Now substring method, what is the use of substring? So substring method you are going to use, and you need to pass the index value, start index value and the end index value. Then you can extract the part of the string. You can extract the part of string if you give the index value like starting point and ending point. So you will get the part of the string. Okay. Now we have equals method and equal operator method. So these method we use to compare a string, right? Okay, then we have toUpperCase method and toLowerCase. So these method we use for changing the case. If I want to change the case of this string to capital letter, I will use toUpperCase method, and if I want to change my string to lowercase, I will use toLowerCase method, right? So this method we can use. Then we have contains method. So what is the use of contains method? To check if string contains another value or not. Like the if I'm passing some value, some string value, and I want to check if this value contains this under this variable or not. So using this contains method, we can check if string present or not under this variable. Okay, then we have trim method. So trim method basically used for removing the spaces, white spaces we can remove from the beginning, from the in the end point or the starting point. We can remove all the white spaces. So these are the method we can use for these purposes, right? So let's check practically. So let's move to this Eclipse. So I'm going to use first method is length method to check the length of a string. So how to check the length of string? I'm going to use this system printout command here. Okay, and I'm going to check string length. Okay, here I'm going to check string length. So what is the string length of S1? I want to check this S1 variable length. What is the length of this string? So S1 dot length. When you click on enter dot, you will get the most of the method name here. The all the method you can use, right? So these are the methods comes under the string class. So I want to use length method. So simple len g. When you type this, you will get the this method, right? Method will display here. So I added this length method. So let's save this and run this program. So when you run this program, you will find 18. The length of this S1 string is 18. If you want to check manually, you can check here. Let's start from T. Okay. So if I check here, T is 1, 2, 3, then white space we are going to consider also as a one value. So 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, right? Because we have total 16 character, but we have two white spaces, right? We have two spaces between these three words, right? So these two spaces also going to count to two value, so two characters. So total we have 18 character, right, inside this string. So this is the way to find out the length of the string, right? Let's say second method is for charAt. If you want to check the character present in which index. Okay, so simple charAt method I'm going to use. Okay, we can pass the index here to check the character. Okay, so simple I'm going to copy this system.out.println command here, and now I'm going to use character at charAt. Okay, so this method I'm going to use. So simple char at. Now I want to check under this index to what value is present. So if you see here, index always start from 0. So 0, then 1, then 2, right? So index 2 value I want to check which character is present. So simple I added 2 here. So second index, what value is present? So simple, when you run this program, so we will see E. Why? Because always remember index start from 0. So this is T value equal to 0 index. Under one index H value is present, under two index E value is present. Okay. So that's why we are getting E, right? Okay. So this is the way we can find out the character. If you want, if you mention the index value, you will get the character value present in the same index. Okay. Now I am going to use different method here, substring method. So simple, I am going to use substring method here. Okay, so let's use substring method. So I'm going to same copy this command. Okay, now I will use here I will mention here substring. So I want to fetch some portion of the string for s variable, s1 variable. Okay, so simple, I'm going to here mention like substring. You need to mention the method name substring, then you need to pass the starting point or end point index. So I want to give the start point is a and end point is n. Okay, so I am giving index. What index I'm going to give? 1 0 1 2 3 4. Starting point is 4. Okay, and endpoint is, what is n equal to? 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13. So end index is 13. I am passing these two index value. Start point is fourth, start from fourth index and end with 13 index. Let's run this program and see what value we are getting. So see, always remember the start point value you will always see whenever you are going to print, but the end index value is not going to print. Before end index is, like end index is n, so we are getting this value only, right? This portion we are getting because I added starting point from here a and ending from n. So n is not going to print, only a is going to print. So after a all the value going to print, but not the end point value. Okay, so this is, that's why we are getting automation, not n but this value only. Okay, so this is the use of substring method. Now use equals method. Equals method I am going to use. So equals method, how to use? To compare string. To compare string we use equals method, right? So let's say I am going to create another very like string variable s2, right? S2 I already there, s3 I'm going to create, and now I'm going to here mention in the small letter. Okay, this string value I'm giving as a small letter, and now I want to check if this s1 equals to s2 or not. Basically, both strings are same, value are same, but only the case part is different, right? In this, we are using T as a capital, and in this, we are using T as a small letter, right? Here also A, small e, right? So like this. So only the case part is different, but the value is same, right? And I want to compare these S1 and S3. So let's compare these two string and if we are getting same value or not. So I'm going to use equals method, right, to compare string. Okay, so let's s1 or s3 na. So simple s1 dot equals, I'm going to use equals method, then s3 I'm going to use s3 variable, and let's compare this if this is matching or not. False. False, we are getting false value. Why? Because this string is different from this string. Why? Because the case sensitive part is different, right? Because in the s1 we are using capital letter T and a capital letter A, right? But here in the s3 I'm using small letter T and small letter A for automation, right? Wording is same, but the case sensitive case part is different, so that's why it's showing false. But if I use different method, like if I'm going to use ignore case, okay, if I use s1 equals ignore case, this method if I use, so now this is going to ignore the case sensitive part. So now we will get the true because we ignore the case sensitive portion. So it doesn't matter if this is small or capital, if the value words are same, so you will get the true value. So that's why we use equal ignore case. So now we are getting true. But if you use equals only, then you will get the false because the letter is different, like case sensitive part. Okay, so this is the use of these two method. Okay, okay, so let's check another method. So now I'm going to use compare. Okay, so compare this equal equals also we use to compare two string. Okay, so let's use this equal sign. Okay, let's I'm going to use equal equal to s3. Okay, so let's say I'm going to use this. So once I'm going to run this, you will see false. Why? One second. Let's say I'm going to run this. Okay, so I'm getting false. Why? Because this string or this string is different. For both a string, there is different object created inside the heap memory. That's why we are getting false, right? If I say, like, if I create another string like s4 and if I pass the same value, right? Same value I'm passing. So let's compare s1 equal to s4. So now we will get true because value are same, right? So that's why we are getting true. But there is a difference between equals method and equal equal operator. I will mention in deep detail after this tutorial. Okay, so don't worry. Both are used for comparison, but one is used for address comparison and one for use for content comparison, like the value comparison. So I will give you the idea what is behind this, but after this tutorial, right? So let's move to another method. Now I'm going to use to upper case method. Okay, and to lower case. We are going to use to uppercase and lowercase method. So how to use? Simple. I'm going to use this s1 string only. Okay, and I'm going to use s1 string s1 dot to lowercase. First of all, I'm going to use to lowercase. Lower case. Okay, so I'm changing this string s1 variable string into lowercase. So we will get all the words in small letter. Let's run this program and see what will happen. So I'm applying here to lowercase. So now see all the value, all the character are in small letter. Why? Because we changed to lowercase. Now I want to change in this all the string to uppercase. So how to change? Simple. I am going to use here to uppercase. Okay, this method I am going to use to change all the letter in capital letter. So simple C. Now all the letter are in uppercase. Okay, so this is the use of two lowercase and two uppercase method. Now I am going to use contains method. What is the use of contains method? So contains method is used, basically we check if the string part is present in the current string or not. String of word is present. Simple, we are checking if this string value is present in this string variable or not, right? So how to check? Simple, I am going to use this system.out.println method command. Okay, now I'm here we are using contains method, right? Contains method. Contains. Okay, contains method I'm using, so I'm simply using s1 only, s1 variable. To s1 dot contains. Here I want to check if this string value is C. So we have hub, right? So I want to check if this hub is present or not under this string. Under this string variable, if s1 contains hub or not. So If the value is present, you will get the true, otherwise you will get the false. So let's run this program. So see, we are getting true. Why? Because in S1 string we have hub, right? So that's why we are getting true. If I enter like some different value, let's say I'm giving another value which is not present in the string. Let's hello, I'm giving hello, right? I'm giving this value, and if I run this program, so I will get false because hello is not present in this S1 string. That's why we are getting false. So this is the use of contains method. Okay. Now I'm going to use trim method. What is the use of trim method? Trim method is basically used for removing white spaces from starting and ending index, right? So let's say I'm going to use this S1 string. Okay, no, I'm going to make this as another string. I'm going to create here S5, right? And now I'm going to give space here. This space, and in the starting, in the end, I'm giving space here. So now I want to remove my S5 variable string space part, right? S5 dot trim. I'm going to use here trims method to trim the white spaces, right? So when I am going to use trim, so let's see, you will get the automation hub, but white spaces got removed, right? If I don't want to remove this, so you will get the output with white spaces, right? Like you will get the in the beginning or in the end, you will get the space index. Okay, so run this. See, right now we are getting this value. This well index is space is there, and when you click on here, so you will get this space is there. So when I use trim method, so now space got removed from the starting and ending point, right? So this is the use of trim method. So guys, I explained you about all the string part, like what is string and how what are the ways to create string. Okay, so we have two different ways to create string: simple string, literal, and string using new keyword. Okay, then if like, can we change string? No, we cannot change string value because string is a constant and immutable. So we cannot change the string. Once you created the string, we cannot change the string value, right? So this is the main uh, reason we cannot change a string, right? And we can use this existing string part, and I will let you know like what is the immutable and mutable part. So immutable means we cannot change the string, but if you want to change your string, you can use string buffer and string builder class. So these two classes are used for the uh, these two classes we can using this we can create a string and we can change the string, okay, value. And string buffer and string builder are mutable, so we can change the string value. So I will create another tutorial regarding this mutable and immutable part. So we will discuss about string buffer and string builder in the next tutorial. So I will give you the idea what is going on behind the scene when we try to change a string. So thank you so much for watching this tutorial. Please like and subscribe to my channel for more updates, and please try to learn these things because these things are more important. Like most of the time we use strings in Java, right? So string always we use like, right? So this is a very important topic, and for the interview purpose also, because interviewer want to know if you know the string and what is the use of string, how to create, and what are the methods we can use. So this is the most important topic I can say. So you should learn and you should know about the string part, right? So please like and subscribe my channel and keep watching this tutorial. So thank you so much. Bye bye.